Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Let's take a sip of this Big Face coffee this morning, huh? Let's get a nice little sip of Big Face in honor of Jimmy Butler, shall we? Good to see everybody this morning. Man, I'm tired. This 40 games and 40 nights, whatever the saying is for the NBA playoffs. I usually feel great until, I don't know, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And then it's just like a ton of bricks. It makes the next morning harder. But you know what? We're out here. We are out here. Who else is out here? Let's see. We get Sneeps in the chat. Jump Shooty up in here. Federico, what's going on, my man? We the people. Yeah. We got to take some L's on Miami here. Airplane mode, the common man. Oh, also the common man, by the way, my guy, I don't know if he's like behind the scenes or whatever. Like the stream, subscribe, but hashtag Himmy. He is the only entry in at this point. That's beautiful. I love that. Jordan's up in here. Borland's ready for the Wolves. Stubbs, good morning. JJL, yeah, it's almost time. It's almost countdown time for Vegas, baby, for Summer League. Orion's here. 3DH, Fenny. Good morning, Fenny. Snoopaloop. Yes, it is National Plumbers Day. That's good. Hug a plumber, everybody. Fernandez, good to see you. Looking for food. Who else we got here? Joel's here. Stan. Mike still thinks the Bucks can beat the Heat without Giannis. Listen. What are we gonna do? It's they got the dub, baby. They got the dub. Wet like a books here. The Hoggy. Let's go. Filled by Big Face, baby. We love to see it. We love to see it. Also, thank you for hooking that up, Veronica. What else we got? We got Zach in the house. Good to see you. Hello, Zachary. Who else? Anybody else that I need to say? Fueled. You meant fueled. Whatever. I might be filled by Big Face too. Who knows? Man, what the hot NBA action last night. That was a lot of fun. We're gonna cover both of those games. Obviously, we'll take a look at tonight's action as well, and just some big picture stuff for round, or what could be some round 2 matchups, right? Man, just like incredible stuff last night. Real quick, just a couple of reminders. You can find all of our links in our show notes. If you guys haven't subscribed to our new Team Hold channel, please do that. It's in the show notes. I'll also drop it into the chat as well. But trying to get that up, I don't know, up over 200 hundo, if you will, before we start dropping some sweet content over there. We did put up the NBA funniest tweets video, just to start the vibes, I'm also getting, for the first time in a few weeks, the little Wi-Fi thing. So I'm sorry if I'm Mr. Roboto. Hopefully it clears up here in a second. But yeah, for the rest of the week. So this is the only show today. We might, I don't know what the playback schedule is. Maybe we get some playback action later. And then tomorrow we'll have the NBA bit, as always, at 9 a.m. And then the 89 Cavs, we're going to do what we did last week. So we'll go over, there's 2 games running kind of simultaneously. I think Cavs and Knicks are at 7. And then I think Memphis and LA is at 7:30. So we'll go ahead and do some playback for those 2 games tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. So come check that out. And then Thursday, same old, just the morning show. And then Friday, we'll have the morning show. And then, I don't know, maybe some chaos a little bit later. But we're crack-a-lacking. We're having a good time. I know I think I shared this yesterday morning. But for those keeping track at home, for use keeping tracks at home, 9,019 subs. So we picked up a cool 19 yesterday and this morning, and we're on our way. Bum, 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 bum. Little Ed Sheeran in the morning, huh? Yeah, we're all well on our way to 10K. So I appreciate everyone being here and helping the dream come true. All right, I think that's enough of that. Like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag Hemi into the chat as we dive into last night's NBA action. Okay, seriously, like that Jimmy Butler stuff. I mean, let's just real quick. We'll do some window dressing. The Heat win 119-114. Some stats for you. Giannis had like a triple-double late into the third quarter. He finished with 26, 13, and 10. Brolo, they got a 36 and 11 out of Brolo. Middleton and Holiday combined for 28 points. And then they only got 16 points off the bench from you got 8 from Patty Kahn. Joe Ingles from Down Under only had 3, and Bobby Portis had 5 and 4. Bobby Portis only played 13 minutes, and it wasn't because of foul trouble. I don't know if it's just Brolo was cooking or what. But more importantly, nobody on the Heat got to 20, but Jimmy Butler got to 56. Jimmy Butler, 56, 9, and 2 with a block in there as well. Jimmy right now, the fourth highest scoring playoff performance of all time. I mean, it was just really incredible, like, that dog in them, right? So Bucks into the fourth quarter. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, right? They're into the fourth quarter. I think the Bucks have a 12-point lead, and Jimmy Butler just wills it. Just wills it. They go on a 13-0 run. Milwaukee inexplicably never calls timeout during this run. And it just what's kind of crazy about this whole thing. This was the point I was trying to make. And I actually said this to Veronica this morning. It's not like the other Miami Heat players are like stepping up huge, right? Like when we look at that line, like Bam had a pretty pedestrian game. Bam finished with 15 and 8. And like, I don't know what it is about Bam, but like he just can't finish around the rim. Like there's no touch right now. And I'll got to eat that L because I just kept saying this is going to be a great matchup for Bam Adebayo. I was wrong. They got 6 points from Kevin Love, 10 from Gabe, 0 from Max Strus. If you played Max Strus in fantasy, he had 0 points, 3 personal fouls, and 2 turnovers. That's it. No stats. And that was in 17 minutes of action. They got 9 from Duncan Robinson. Caleb Martin had a good game. He had 12 and 9. Lowry had 6 and 5. Like, it's not like Connor John said, "Oh baby, we're live. Hey from Ireland. Let's go, Connor. Connor, we got to talk later because I am coming to Ireland." Duncan has been playing. Yeah, Duncan's playing well considering what Duncan usually brings to the table, which is nothing, right? And he is playing well in that sense that he did get them 9 points, and he stretches the floor a little bit, knocking down some shots. But man, like it's not like, oh my God, we got 35 from Gabe Vincent or we got 20 and 15 from Kevin Love, right? Like that's it. It's Jimmy just like digging deep and getting that W. I feel like I've never seen anything like that. Maybe that's a little too reactionary, but or like what's that? What do we call that? Like recency bias or whatever. But good Lord, Bobby in the chat saying any Bulls in here crying, seeing Jimmy balling. I mean, it was just incredible to watch. And it was one of those things too. You know how like sometimes in these close games where the underdog is like hanging around, but you like deep down, you kind of know, like you got Giannis, you got Milwaukee, the Bucks are going to figure this out, right? Like that's a lot of times that happens a lot in like college basketball and March Madness, right? You're like, oh my God, the 15 seed, it's a 2-point game. And then like push comes to shove, 2 seed gets over it, right? And that is not what this felt like when you were watching the game. You didn't feel like Milwaukee was all of a sudden going to turn it around. It did feel like Miami had it. And I mean, hard not to root for Jimmy Butler and what he did last night. And just one more time, that line, man, 56 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, and just like big time, tough buckets. We the people saying Jimmy literally put the Heat on his back. Shout out to him for mentioning his butt buddy Embiid for MVP in the post interview. Yeah, that was great. I mean, Embiid and Butler both just kind of like waving to each other from far away, being like, "You're the best. No, you're the best. No, you're the best." That was cute. But man, and like the reaction from Jimmy after, like, it's crazy, man. Oh yeah, Jump Shoot says no hero. Let's do a hero drop. Just just for the vibes. Let's do a hero drop for the vibes. Is there I was thinking about this with Jimmy too. Like, is there somebody who has that much of a difference between what their output looks like in the regular season versus the playoffs? And it's not like Jimmy's bad in the playoffs. That's not, I mean, in the regular season, that's not what I'm saying. But Jimmy definitely is just kind of, he coasts in a way. Still almost by putting up all NBA performances, but there's a clear leap in what we see from him in February than what we see from him now in April, May, and June. And I mean, like, he becomes a decent 3-point shooter. Like, he does a little bit of everything, and he's not a shooter. I mean, he takes like 2 threes a game, maybe in the regular season, and he jacked up 8 last night. He went 3 for 8. And I'm just trying to think, is there anybody that takes a leap? Boston Bay says it's kind of embarrassing that he doesn't try in the regular season. I mean, I guess, right? Like, the Snoop Loops is kind of Kawhi, but then you look at what Kawhi did. Kawhi, though, doesn't play. That's the thing, right? Like, when Kawhi plays, he's a machine. Like, when you look at the second half of the season, Kawhi was like really, really good. He's putting up like 35 and 5 and playing almost every game from the All-Star break on. The difference between Kawhi just doesn't play. And I mean, Jimmy takes some games off too. But man, I just like the leap that you see from Jimmy in the regular season to the playoffs. The shooting thing is crazy. Pretty sick, huh? Pretty sick stuff, huh? Can you guys hear me okay? I want to make sure I'm up here before I start moving around. Oh yeah, baby. Man on the street season. Man on the street season. What a great time to do it, huh? It's not like we had incredible playoff stuff. I got to see, how cold is it outside? It is. Oh yeah, we can go outside. We can go outside. Hold on, we got to get our shoes on. And we got our keys out here too. To always be prepared. That's the thing. You always got to be prepared. Plunge says, need me to take over? No, Plunge, we're good. We're good. Although the last time you were here, Plunge, that same thing happened, right? The same thing happened. NBA Bait goes edgy for the kids, says looking for food. Yeah, we might just go down to the park. It might be warm enough. We gotta tie the shoes here. I'm a little annoyed we're not gonna be able to finish this coffee, but yeah. Borland says go ask New York about LeBron. Yeah, we might have to. Hold on. The other thing, we gotta put this down here for a second. Put this down here for a second. Yeah, you can see. I saw like. Go fuck Wi-Fi. There we go. That's a good chat. Yeah, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Himmy. Imagine if you guys just got a wiener shot right here, huh? That would have been a fun reveal. Like, oh, Zakarian doesn't wear pants? That would have been a fun reveal. I'm also going to prepare you guys. We're going to lose Wi-Fi here in a second when we go outside. So I actually might shut it off right now. Yeah, let's go shut. There we go. We're back. All right. I told you it was going to take a second. It was going to take a second, but we're back now. All right. Here we go. We got to be quiet, though. No, he's back. He's back, baby. Nice try, Plunge. I gave you a warning that was coming. All right, it's 56. So let's grab a jacket. Let's grab a jacket. Yeah, I warned you guys it was coming. All right, so don't everybody relax. All right, you expect perfection every time. You know what? It's been like 3 weeks since the Wi-Fi went down. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a great run for what we're trying to do here. Oh, it's beautiful. I probably didn't even need the jacket. Anyways, I think what Jimmy did was incredible. And I think the real question is now, so they go back to Milwaukee for game 5. And I don't know, like, I saw a couple of things on Twitter last night, a couple of takes being like, well, you know what, it's still Milwaukee. They still have Giannis. It's still going to be like, you know, they're still the better team. Do you think Miami just kind of closes the door? I'm a little nervous that if they lose game 5, then it's a problem. Like, I feel like Miami needs to, I mean, they're up 3-1, so we should relax. It's not a problem. But I'm a little bit nervous that Miami
leaves the door open. And if they don't just shut it down in game 5, Milwaukee has a shot at coming back. So that's my only concern for Miami. But like, dude, the Heat are the fucking 8 seed. They're the 8 seed. They're up 3-1 right now. I mean, that's bonkers. That's bonkers. So Sneeps is saying Heat in 5. Yeah, what else you guys have on this? Andrew says, I think Jimmy is going to sit this out and drop 60 on the 6th game. That would be an incredible troll job to just, like, not even travel with the team to Milwaukee. Fenny has the Packer viewing bit. You know what I keep going back to, though? Sean tweeted out before the playoffs started. This is when, in the play-in game, Atlanta beat Miami, right? And Sean immediately tweeted out something. It was probably right after a bunch of Celtics fans were celebrating because they were going to get to play Atlanta instead of Miami. And he was like, Celtics fans are in for a rude awakening when they get Ice Tray. Okay. Not only is Jimmy Butler a far superior basketball player than Trae Young, can we just like compare? No one is scared of Atlanta. Atlanta is embarrassing. And that was shown. That was shown. Atlanta's about to go home tonight. They're going to be done. They're probably going to have to blow up their team. Some weird stuff is going to happen. So I think that's just so hilarious to have that tweet. And it's just aged poorly each and every day. It's aged a little bit worse. Like the first started aging poorly when Atlanta played like dog shit. And now Miami looks like they're going to move on to the next round, which is kind of crazy. Plunge says, why is it bonkers that they are winning a series where Giannis hasn't played in 75% of the games? Because every Milwaukee fan cited that they were like, well, look at our record without Giannis. Do you remember when Giannis missed all that time and we ripped up all of those W's? So I don't think it's that surprising that you are losing to an 8 seed. I'm sorry. I do think it's surprising that you're losing to an 8 seed even without Giannis. And you had Giannis back last night, who dropped a triple-double, and you lost to a team that started not 1, but 2. Max Strus, Gabe Vincent. You have 5 of the best 7 players in the series. And I think that was like an inexcusable loss. And we haven't even talked about Coach Bud, too, who everybody was ready to fire. And then they went on that championship run. Like Kevin Durant's feet being as big as they are probably saved Coach Bud a job. And then, I still don't understand in that 12-0 run, the 13-0 run that he went on, how they didn't call a timeout there. And you get 31 points from Brook Lopez and you somehow lose that game. It's just kind of wild. Just wild. Matt's in the chat says, oh, shoot, Milwaukee is only plus 128 to win this series still. I know, and that's the thing. Miami has been a bad team all year long. And I think the concern for like the 1s and 2 seeds were that can they just turn it on and all of a sudden become a defensive juggernaut? And honestly, that hasn't even been the case. Like, it's not like they've been locked down defenses. What did they give up, 114 last night? They haven't been they got terrible games from Max Strus. I guess Duncan Robinson has kind of been the difference for like the bench. They've gotten okay Kevin Love games. I guess it depends what you think of Kevin Love. But anyways, I think Miami needs to close the door in game 5. I would not want to give them any hope because all of a sudden, if they start gaining momentum, I could see that being an issue. But they still, again, I was saying the 5 of 7, right? Jimmy and Bam are the 2, but you're obviously taking every other buck before you take another Heat. So, I don't know. And what really is wild about this, right, if Miami holds on, if Miami somehow upsets Milwaukee, we're going to fucking Knicks and Heat in round 2, which is going to be some of the grossest shit that we've ever seen. It's going to be like some real ugly basketball. But the Knicks now have, after just dismantling Donovan Mitchell's Cleveland Cavaliers, they now have like kind of an easy, I wouldn't say easy, a much clearer path to the Eastern Conference Finals than they did before, which is nuts, right? And that's not even a shit on, Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler. I just think that, you would rather take on the Heat than Giannis and the Bucks. You just would. 10 out of 10, you're picking that. Even if Miami's been playing well. So now the Knicks are looking like, they're like, all right, if we can go to Cleveland, finish this out, then just sit back and wait. Because if they do get Milwaukee in the second round, that means Milwaukee just played a 7-game series with Giannis's back all banged up, or they play Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat. And, Miami could absolutely win that series. But, man, if you were the Knicks, you're going to be feeling pretty good about that. Stan says Cavs is not over. They will win game 5. Maybe. They maybe will win game 5. But we haven't seen anything from Cleveland that makes you think they're going to be good unless they start giving the ball to Darius Garland a little bit more, Stan. Yeah, the Knicks still have to close out, though. I know. I'm not concerned. They absolutely might lose tonight. I just don't see the Cavs ripping off 3 straight wins. I don't see that happening. All right, that was 20 minutes. We did 20 minutes on the first game. That's pretty good. We had Wi-Fi go down bad. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm running out of breath. We're walking too fast. Bobby Sessions in the chat, #Himmy. Good to see you. All right, so the second game last night, which, I mean, LeBron James is incredible. And I hate giving LeBron any credit, but he finished that game with what? 22 points, 20 boards, and 7 dimes. I mean, like, it was his first 2020 game. I also saw a stat this morning. LeBron James has 7 buckets, or 7 go-ahead, or 7 tying or go-ahead buckets with less than a second left in the playoffs. And I think it's the most. It's the most ever. Which is just wild, right? So he gets the ball with 6 seconds left and just kind of blows by, goes right to the rim. And what was so impressive about this is Jaren Jackson Jr., who had an incredible defensive game and was just blocking shot after shot after shot, right? LeBron has to put this so high up off the glass to just, like, get it past Jaren Jackson Jr.'s outstretched arms. And then it drops down for 2. And then in overtime, they just kind of dominate him. If you're Memphis, you got to be kicking yourself. You get down early. You come all the way back. You take the lead. You had the lead. Like, you were up 2 with 6 seconds left, and you just couldn't finish it. And, I mean, Desmond Bane, you got 30-plus points from Desmond. Desmond, who, like, just straight up kept them in the game. He was hitting shot after shot after shot, except for 3-pointers. Holy shit. Memphis shot like 5% from 3 last night, and they were missing. And it's not like they were taking tough, contested threes at the end of the shot clock. Like, they were just missing wide open corner threes. Just wide open shit. Eric Fernandez said, "Are you rooting for Memphis in this series?" So I was just rooting for a long series. I think, like, I was thinking about it. I would just much rather watch Ja Morant in the playoffs than that Lakers team. I don't think that Lakers team is super fun to watch. However, this is setting up kind of nicely for a Warriors-Lakers series, which we'll talk about De'Aaron Fox here in a second. But, man, just pretty wild. Just pretty wild performance from the Lakers. And the fact that they were able to get that W with Anthony Davis playing like dog crap. It sounds like he was dinged up a little bit. They've said he had a hip injury. But if you go back and look at it, he was pretty bad prior to that. So it wasn't like he all of a sudden started playing poorly after he got hit in the hip or whatever it was. But, man, I mean, this isn't a hot take. This dude is undefeated for just going down mid-game, right? I mean, it happened like 3 or 4 times. He just goes down. We got to sit there and wait forever. Just crazy. But, yeah, so for the Lakers to somehow win that game with getting a shit Anthony Davis performance while Desmond Bane was going off. I mean, Ja Morant did some real incredible shit, too, last night. For those that didn't see it, I know most of the highlights of Ja are going to be him falling to the ground and then shaking his wrist out, right? He tried to just straight up murder LeBron James twice last night, and LeBron, I think, drew charges on both of them. One of them, by the way, was not a charge. And that whistle, the officiating, I will say it was bad both ways, so it's not like we're going to, blame the officiating for that Lakers W. But that officiating was just garbage. Also, the coaching. Both coaches used their challenge, like, back-to-back in the fucking second quarter. It's like, what are you guys doing? It was just, like, terrible. I did not understand that at all. And then there was, like, 15 things they could have challenged late in the third or the fourth. It just didn't make sense. I did not really understand what was going on there. But the officiating was so bad. I mean, Austin Reeves just gets the most comfy whistle I've ever seen in my life. And he's been playing great. I think he actually led the Lakers in scoring last night, unless LeBron caught him. But I mean, he's treated like he's Michael Jordan with that whistle. It's wild to watch. But anyways, Lakers get the W. They're up 3-1. I imagine Memphis gets Game 5, and then it comes back and it's closed out. It ends up being Lakers in 6, which now sets up to go into the De'Aaron Fox stuff. So De'Aaron Fox was reported yesterday, fractured finger. Yeah, Patrick was saying so many late whistles. It was really bad officiating. I don't know. I saw Russillo tweet out that he's actually a fan of late calls, which I thought was funny. But anyways, De'Aaron Fox fractured finger. It was so funny. Shams tweeted out he's doubtful for Game 5. Woj tweeted out he's going to give it a go, like he's more questionable than doubtful. So I like that. I like that energy between the two of them. Honestly, if Celebrity Deathmatch, you guys remember Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV? That was like my favorite halftime show when I was a kid during the Super Bowl. We need those two to go at it in Celebrity Deathmatch. We do. Bring Claymation back. Let's get it on. We need some of that shit between Woj and Shams, or at least want to see them in the same room at the same time. Eric Fernandez says, pray for Chewy. I know. That was really disappointing. I mean, and it's not like people will start saying, oh, the Kings are cursed. It's not that. I mean, this whole playoffs has been cursed, right? You got John Morant playing with one hand. You got Giannis playing with a half a back. De'Aaron Fox goes down. Who else went down? I'm missing some other people that went down as well. But it's just been injury laden. Yeah, Mills Lane. There we go. Wet like I'm booked. Thank you, that. I ain't here for good times, just good times, just a long time. Says DJ Local. Shout out DJ Local, by the way. Yeah, it was it's a bummer though. It is a bummer. You got Sabonis playing with one hand. You got Fox now playing with one hand. Oh, Embiid and Kawhi. Thank you, Eric. I knew I was missing some major ones. I don't know. It would be kind of cool the way that we saw the Warriors step up and beat the Kings without Draymond. But instead, I don't see it happening. I don't see the Kings being able to do it without De'Aaron Fox. If Fox can't play, I mean, he's just been so much. He's been arguably the best player in the series. I mean, Steph's been the best player in the series. But we could argue it. I think Fox has been awesome, right? If you look at the stats, they're pretty much putting up the same performance, which is pretty incredible. So really, really tough stuff for the Kings. This will test the road record thing. This will test how bad the Warriors are on the road. If they can't get it done without a De'Aaron Fox on the Kings side or with a hobbled De'Aaron Fox, then this road thing is true, and they are just a dog shit team. We've seen them lose to Detroit on the road, Charlotte on the road, all like Houston on the road, I think. So they can do it. They do have it in them. Wait, Andre says, does Randall's injury count? Looks like he's still laboring. No, he's playing. He's just playing bad. Wolves without Kyle Anderson going to be rough. Borland, I missed that. There's no Kyle Anderson tonight. I did not know that. That is tough. That might be wrap-up season for – I mean, whatever, dude. Borland, how are you feeling as a Minnesota fan? I think, I thought it was pretty cool that you guys had that fight in Game 4. I think a lot of teams just kind of packing in and get swept there. I don't know. That got me pretty excited about Anthony Edwards' future. So, even though it's probably one and done here, and I imagine going into Denver is going to be tough stuff, but I would feel – I mean, Anthony Edwards, dude, just balling. We've seen some incredible playoff performances from that. All right, we're going to start heading back, see if we can get a better Wi-Fi situation when we get back. A couple other news-related things yesterday too, right? So we got the Fox news. I feel like I'm missing another one. Ime Udoka looks like he got hired by Houston Rockets, which has Celtics fans shitting their pants because I think there was some concern that Jaylen Brown would want to go to Houston. There were some rumors of it. And now that Ime's there and we know he feels favorably towards Ime, I mean, I don't know. I'll be fascinated to see how the next couple of weeks shakes out because the rumblings so far has been that it's not going to be full rebuild for Houston. Obviously they have the lottery coming up, right? And they're going to have a top tier pick because their team was dog shit this year. But they were kind of saying this isn't going to be a young run and gun type team that they're going to go out there and get some veteran leadership. And I know we're going to see how the Sixers pan out here in the second round with a dinged up Embiid. But the rumor for the longest time was that it was going to be James Harden, right? And now that you get this JB stuff, and JB a lot of that will have to do with him making third team All NBA, right? And if that happens, that means the Celtics can give him just way more money than anybody else. But my concern with this is that Jaylen Brown goes full NBA superstar, signs this max extension, plays a year, and then is like, hey, BT Dubs, get me out. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, which, again, every time a superstar's come on the market and Boston has been interested, Jaylen's name has been floated. So maybe he's just like, this is payback, baby. I hope that doesn't happen. I love having Jaylen Brown on the team. Also, I made fun of his shoes the other day because I thought he was making fun of James Naismith and saying that he didn't really create basketball. did I read that? I don't know if anybody else saw it. Somebody was saying it was about the Aaron Nesmith trade. And I don't know if that was a joke. I think I heard that on the NBA Athletic podcast show, which that's hilarious if it's about the Aaron Nesmith trade. I think that was a bit, though. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I think it was a bit. Boston Bay says Supermax JB isn't going anywhere. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous, though, that he signs and then pieces out. I'm a little nervous about that. Was there another piece of NBA news? It was Udoka, De'Aaron Fox injury. I thought there was a third thing that I'm missing here. Oh, Lauri Markkanen, most improved player. I just want to say we've gone undefeated with all of our picks, all of our end of the awards. I know we've already gone over this before, but Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon, Sixth Man of the Year, Lauri Markkanen, most improved, Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, De'Aaron Fox, Clutch of the Year. We're undefeated right now. Boston Bay says no trade clause. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's going to have way more leverage, I think, than we think. That's just what we see now in this day and age. That's just what we see. Dylan Brooks and Jaws skipping the media. I don't care about Jaws skipping the media. I do think the Dylan Brooks thing is pretty wild. I think Dylan Brooks. I am so out on Dylan Brooks. I hope the Grizzlies get rid of him. I think he sucks, man. He's not fun to watch. He's bad at basketball, and he's a clown. I think if you're going to go this route of just being a troll, you got to keep doing it. Oh, DeJounte Murray. That was the other one. Thank you, JJL. Yeah, DeJounte shoved the ref. We talked about that, I think, a little bit yesterday. Bumped the ref at the end of Game 5. That's DeJounte, baby. That's why the San Antonio Spurs let him go. There's some alpha for you, although I think we've talked about it before. That's why they were hesitant, because he lives on the outside, baby. Yeah, so DeJounte is going to be suspended for Game 5. So this is what I'll tell you. I think Trae Young's going to have a bad game in Game 5. I think the Celtics win by 10+, but I think Bogdan of the Bogdanoviches is going to hang tight. I think he's the reason this game stays just like around that 10-point mark. I think we're going to get a big Bogdan game. I also think we got to free Bogdan. I want him in a better team. I think that dude is clutch. He's like a playoff guy. It sucks that he's on Atlanta. He just doesn't make sense on that team. But yeah, DeJounte suspended for Game 5 for bumping a ref. It was so stupid. That was so stupid. All right, so tonight, what do we have tonight? Tonight we have Atlanta and Boston. Boston should wrap this up. We also have Denver and Minnesota. I imagine Denver wraps this up as well. If Denver doesn't win this game, by the way, get ready for everyone to jump back on the bandwagon that they just got off of about how Denver's not a real team. So that'll be fun. We have a third game tonight too. Oh, is it? No, it's not Knicks Cavs. Suns Clippers. Suns Clippers, and that's probably it. Shout out to the 100 debuts, DeJounte debuts Mike had. What a time to be alive. Dude, I know. I guess we can chat a little toppy shot here for a second. I mean, it seems like the redemption thing is going really well. JJL says playing Bogdan and Moment race now. Well, Godspeed, JJL. But it seems like people are pretty psyched about the redemption stuff. There was a lot of movement yesterday after the Joel Embiid announcement with the block. So I think you know what though, I'm seeing some wild stuff of people just collecting them all and locking them all. I don't know if everybody understands how it works, but whatever. I'm glad there's some excitement here. I also saw what was that Wales account? Fix Barnacle out there just trying to punt off his account, which will be an incredible sale if it happens, because I think like 60% of his shit is locked, which I love. I think I posed that question earlier. I was like, do you think I could sell my entire account if it was locked? Like, how would people respond to that? And now I don't have to pose the question because our man Fix Barnacle's doing it. He's trying to sell for $199,000. What? $199K. Looking for Fruit says you're not supposed to lock them. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to dunk on anyone's thought process here for collecting every single redemption and locking them right away. But I don't think that was the move. I don't think that. Just see some questionable tweets out there. Some questionable tweets. But anyways, yeah, it seems like, listen, people seem pretty excited about it. It got the juices flowing. So it looks like Andre says it's a completely different set on its own as well, though. So locking one, yeah, but you only care about the one. Like, none of them matter if they don't win the championship. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like. I saw people like scooping up a bunch of Atlanta Hawks stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Anyways, let's cross the street. We're gonna look both ways though. I'm not a psycho. You know what I'm saying? Look both ways before you cross the street. Poor Martin is down like 1 million. I know that was tough to watch. That was tough to watch. Boston Bay says I'm locking redemptions in addition to minting them. Yeah, I mean, listen, do whatever you want, baby. Do whatever you want. Yeah, Andre says RIP my buck sack. See, this to me is what's so fun about this redemption shit. I love the idea, like whether you're a Milwaukee fan or you're just like looking at the lay of the land and you're like, Milwaukee's the team that's going to come out, and then now you're just like burned, right? I mean, I wonder how many people started scooping up Clippers after they stole game 1, too. Although I don't know if I can't remember when the packs dropped. Although I saw the first Mint newsletter today, and they were saying we want more packs, more $5 packs. Okay. Okay. All right, we're almost. What do we got? We got a few minutes before we're back home. Any other takes you guys got in the chat here that we need to get to? Just a reminder: like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Himmy into the chat. We'll give something away here in a few minutes when I get back. I was trying to think. I thought there was another thing I wanted to dive into. I didn't do any sober NBA content last night or yesterday, mainly because it took them a while to figure out what exactly was going to look like, what the game week was going to look like, because they had some errors here. And then it's a little bit harder doing week-long stuff, especially when you don't have all the game weeks weren't, the games weren't projecting correctly in the platform. It's a little frustrating. Fernandez asked if I took Bandy on this walk. No, Bandy's like a teenager, man. He'll sleep until like 9:30, 10. What else we got here? OTM has fixed Barnacle's account value at $384K, so maybe $190K is a steal. But hey, dude, live your life, O'Ryan. You want to go grab that? Live that life. I'm not going to tell you anything else. I'm a monster, Eric. Dude, he sleeps, man. I think he got used to my schedule. Ooh, Amtrak train. I think he got used to my schedule, where he's just like, he knows he's not going to get a good walk until 10 o'clock, so he just sleeps. Liver Fruit said, do you think So Rare will change things for next playoffs? Yeah, I'm telling you, I feel confident looking for food that we're going to get like a fun ETH announcement for next year. So we'll see. Boston bases, if they burn a lot of redemption packs and a lot of people mint redemptions, there won't be many unredeemed redemptions out there for collecting. Sure, but like, why? You're not. I mean, whatever. Like, you want Mikal Bridges. Yeah, okay. I mean, it makes sense for some of the better teams that you think have a shot at winning the chip. I just don't understand. I don't understand the thought process for the teams that suck. Fenny says that that actually might have been the Acela. I think that was the Acela. But that is the Northeast Regional. One of the most frustrating parts about taking the Amtrak, which I don't do as much anymore, is that we go right over our apartment and then we go into the city, and then it takes like 30 minutes to get back. I like their faces. Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. If you want to, as long as you're agreeing that it's, how would the Top Shot economist say? A bad trading decision. As long as you get that part. Speaking of the economists, where are the economists at? You think Top Shot's going to Summer League this year? I'm still so confused why OTM selected the second weekend, which makes me think they know that Top Shot is going to go the second weekend just because, Dapper is a partner of theirs. Which is how we found out that Summer League, the Top Shot conference wasn't happening last year. Throw a little bit of throwback Thursday for that, huh? All right, hold on. We're getting back inside now. We were DeJounte Murray outside, but now we're back inside now. Here we go. All right. Let's see how this Wi-Fi is working, baby. Yeah, give Roham a call for me. Oh, there we go. I can see me. It looks like we're working a little bit better over here now. Let's see. Bang! Look at this fun setup here. All right, hold on. Sorry, I guess I don't really need headphones in right now. We out here though. We back, baby. We back. Thanks to everybody who stuck around for all of that, huh? We got a nice little walk in. My Apple Watch is going. You taking a walk?
What's that? Is that a Passion Pit song? Walk. Let's take a walk. Take a walk. Is that Passion Pit? Somebody help me out there. Let's see. Is the mug still? Oh, the mug's dead. Oh, my coffee's gone cold. I'm wondering why. Got out of bed at all. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let me catch back up. Did the chat die? You guys can see me now, right? All right, no, I think you can. Yeah, let's see. How many entrants do we have into the giveaway? Only 42. What are y'all doing? Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Hammy. Do you is that the greatest? It's probably it's Passion Pit. Hell yeah, let's go, baby. Where does that Jimmy Butler performance rank for you? Like all time? When is it? Where does that like of playoff performances that you witness? I feel like LeBron scoring 28 of 29 or whatever that is. That always sticks out to me. I don't know. That's got to be up there though. I think the only thing that's different is that it was the first round, right? If we saw this shit in the conference finals or the finals, we'd be losing our mind. We the people, thank you for asking. He said, how is Underdog doing? First and foremost, sign up for Underdog Fantasy, underdogfantasy.com, using promo code HOLD, HOLD, 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. I'm going to pull that up here in a second. Dude, I love Temper Trap. Sweet disposition. There you go. How about that? LeBron game 6, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to look up underdog. Let's do this. Let's do this one right here. LeBron and the J.R. Smith game too. Yeah, it's always tough when it's in an L though. You know what I'm saying? It's always tough when it's in an L. But I agree. That was one of the best ones too. Bucks have to make someone besides Jimmy beat you, and I can sleep at least at night. I know they got to figure it out. All right, let's go look at. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong stuff. Let's go look at live. So for those that don't know, before I pull this up, the dance, which is an underdog contest, it's like you draft your team once, and then it lasts throughout the entire playoffs, but it goes round by round. So if you get out of round 1, you go to round 2. You have to win your pod. You got to win your pod. So for those that don't know, I maxed this out. I've never maxed. Oh my God, is it happening again? I've never maxed an underdog contest before. Also, I saw Bandy. You got a Bandy sighting? There he is. Hey, buddy. I've never maxed one, which a max is 150. So I did 150 lineups. This was fresh off of winning an underdog contest too. So I had some extra coin. So it's a $10 tournament, max it, 150 lineups. So here we go. Let's go look at how we're doing in best ball. So right now, of the 150, the way it works, if you win your pod, you move on to the second round. We are at 47 out of 150. So I almost have a 33% advance rate, which is crazy. But the other thing to point out, right, is that because it didn't, there's some overlay. It didn't fill up the contest completely. So there's going to be up to 1,700 second place finishes are also going to move on to the next round because of that lack of overlay. So, right, we have 47 first place finishes so far. Now, so far, there's still some more action left in round 1. I think some of the issues I'm going to run into here, I'll look at my exposure in a second. But like I have a lot of Grizzlies, but I also have some Lakers. I have a lot of Fox and Sabonis, but also have a lot of Warriors. So it kind of, and I've got a ton of Jimmy Butler, which is going to look good here. All right, so we've got 47 in first. When we start looking at second place, we got 1, 2, let's keep going, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's keep moving. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31. So 31 and 47. What is that? 78. Holy shit. So 78. Now I'm probably not getting all of those through, right? But the fact that that is on the table right now is pretty wild. Here, I'll go look at my exposure too. I always think it's fun to look at exposure because we like to expose. Here we go. Looking at this one more time. So this is my biggest exposure. So I had a ton of Mikal Bridges, but again, I'm drafting him super late, and you need guys like that to get you out of the first round. My biggest L was betting on OKC. I had a lot of SGA, but again, I was doing it with my last pick of the round. Wait, how do you find your exposure? If you go back to, I forget where I just was. If you go back to like your live lineups, there's a link right there. But this is where it gets spicy, right? We had a lot of De'Aaron Fox, and even if Fox misses tonight's game, hopefully he plays the next game. But Jimmy Butler right here, 28% of Jimmy Butler, 28% of Sabonis. Donovan Mitchell really let me down. But then we got a lot of Ja Morant, a lot of Marcus Smart. Anthony Edwards has helped me get over the hump. Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane. So we get a lot of Cavs and Grizz, which is going to hurt. But it will help me get through. And I didn't really have the Cavs or Grizz winning it all. So it'll help me get through to the next round. Were you scared to pick RJ Barrett? Yes, I was. But it's pretty exciting. This is, again, the first time I've ever maxed something out like this. And again, I think for a successful advance rate, you're shooting for something like 18%, something like 18%. But I think 15% is the baseline. You want to be above that. And because of the overlay, now we're shooting for like 23%, I think. And right now, I mean, we're on a solid pace for like 33%, which is pretty tight. So that'll be fun. One of the things that's crazy too about all of this is like anybody that drafted Sixers, right? The Sixers aren't playing anymore. Nets aren't playing anymore. So it's going to be tough to get more games out of them. That's what's kind of intriguing about this Bucks Heat series is that like if the Bucks win, they're going to go 7. So all of your Bucks stacks are going to get through. And if they don't, all those Bucks stacks are dead, especially if they lose game 5. But then their Jimmy and Bam are very live. And that's why Minnesota winning a game was pretty important for a lot of my stuff because I have a lot of Denver, and that extends that series a little bit more. Not getting a lot of sweeps has been good if you faded a lot of the Sixers, which I did. I drafted a lot of Embiid early and then kind of moved off it there towards the end. RJ Barrett, though, let's shout out to Bing Bong Boys a little bit. Actually, let's do regular season Randall.
Regular season Randall.
We do got to shout out the Bing Bong Boys, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's 2 consecutive games at home, just like really cooking, and that was fun to see. I'll go over to So Rare too. We can look at what my lineups ended up looking like for the NBA playoffs here. And then I'll show you my baseball one too, because my baseball one's kind of fire. All right, so for the common, we had Jimmy Butler himself. We threw in Jokic and Giannis, and then Damian Lee and Chetty Osman to help us get through. Sorry, my camera's being a little weird. Our contender, we had Gabe Vincent put up 28. Tyus Jones disappointed. This is probably not going to do anything. My champion had Sabonis and Fox, which is now a problem since Fox is hurt. Jamal Murray, we threw in Bogdanov, the Bogdanoviches, and Terrence Mann. My rare contender, I went even across the board. Max Strus with a -4 is fucking hilarious. Gabe with 30, and then we got Keegan, Bogdan, and DeAndre Hunter. And then our rare champ, I just kind of fired this together. It's not going to do anything. This was kind of my leftovers. So that's my NBA squads. My baseball squad, though, off to a nice start in the limited pro. I got a really good shout out, Aaron Borland, baby. Got a really good pitching performance from our friend Sonny Gray. So right now we're in 67th. If we look at my team here, we got Sonny Gray dropped to 40. I didn't get anything from Jansen. Devers went deep again for 18. Pena had 16. He went deep. And then Mateo and Santander both put up 8. Estrada with 2 strikeouts last night kind of hurt. Yes, Strider was pretty good, dude. Strider's been awesome, man. Strider's a really good pitcher. There's your hot take of the day. All right, gang. I think we're going to call it there. 48 minutes of fury, baby. We got a walk-in. We had some bad Wi-Fi, but it's not going to stop us, all right? Much like Jimmy Butler, we're going to fight through. So last call, like the stream, subscribe, #Himmy. Just a reminder, stay tuned for any sort of playback announcements of when we're coming back in. We'll be diving back in. The NBA bit will be back tomorrow. The 89 Cavs will be on playback tomorrow night for the early games. NBA bit all week, baby. You can't play this format. It's unfortunate. Why can't you play it? Joe, just because you don't like it, or like you just can't do it. Either way. But as always, appreciate everybody being here this morning. It's we're vibing, baby. On our way to 10K. On our way. Oh, also, real quick. Please do me a favor. I'm dropping this link in there one more time. If you haven't subscribed to our other NBA channel, Team Hold NBA, we're going to be posting some other content over there that's like specifically NBA. We're not going to be doing our live streams over there like we did that NBA Funniest Tweets video. That type of content is going to live over there. That way it doesn't get lost in the shuffle between all the shorts and the live streams. It's good for the algo, as they say. So please do me a favor. Just take a second. There's 55 of you over there. So everybody go subscribe. Subscribe. So we can keep cooking. And we'll have a new Oladipo video coming out shortly, or not shortly, but soon. All right, here we go. We're spinning. If you win this thing, shoot me a DM at Mike Zakarian. If you are a So Rare bro, not a Top Shot bro, I'll give you a So Rare card instead. If you're a Top Shot bro, Top Shot moment coming your way. The winner is Drew NFTV. Shout out, Drew. Shout out Drew. One of the OGs, baby. One of the OGs. All right, everybody. 3 games tonight. Give me the Celtics. Give me the Nuggets. And give me the Suns. It's gonna be a closeout night. Tuesday, everything's closing early. All those series ends. But if not, more basketball. Have a great day. We are out.